Next topic is something I've just done. All of this color just here is our new Blonde Life range. So yeah, the next topic for this podcast is Joico's Blonde Life. Just launched in the UK this week. It's been launched in America and all over America, and it's just
North America. North America.
Yeah.
So tell me, it's quite a. Right, I'll tell you what I understand, and you can explain to me more. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the new blonding part of Joico, right?
Yeah.
Brand new. It's a very compact range, right? So tell us what's in the range first of all.
So you've got your demi-liquid colours, you've got your quick tones, you've got your peroxides, and you've got 3 bleaches: balayage clay, cream lightener, and a Blonde Life powder.
Okay. So tell us the difference between the demi and the liquid.
What?
You said about the liquid. Tell us. So we've got the liquids, right?
Demi-liquids and the quick toners.
And the quick toners. Tell us the difference between demi-liquids and the toners.
Yeah. So difference is quick toners are quick and they're a cream. There's only 3 shades, so there's 4, but there's 3. There's sand, silver, violet, and then there's clear to make them brighter, give you a little bit more time when applying.
Yeah.
And then the demi liquids aren't as quick. You can develop up to 20 minutes. 5-volt again. You've got clear. You've got 8N, 10N, 9SB, 10SB, 9V, 10V.
Okay. And when would you? What would be the difference? What would you say? Okay, I'm going to use a quick toner as compared to the demi liquids. Is it all to do with the condition, or is it to do with the color selection you've got available to you?
I think it's more to do with speed, if I'm honest. I mean, the quick tone it's I say it's limited. You can create so many colors with it. But
can you mix them? Can you mix the quick toners together?
You can mix quick toners together, yeah. So like mixing sand, silver, and violet is lovely. It's basically sand. You've got to look at a sort of like a slight N with an NWB, I suppose.
So natural warm brown, about blonde, beige.
And then you've got the violet, which is violet, and you've got the silver, which is obviously blue based.
Yeah.
So you can tone, tone yellow, tone sort of oranges.
So why would you mix the 3 of them there? Then you got a beige, you got a blue tone, and would they cancel each other out or not?
No, it's customization, formulation. It's being able to really achieve a certain look. The silver is very silver. If you were to leave that on, the violet can go purple. You've got the clear in there to just give it a bit of a lift, so you don't get as much deposit. But I always find the sand in there just takes off. It's like putting a little bit of base in, I suppose, working with the sand.
Okay. Yeah. I think most beiges have that quality, don't they?
Yeah, like background color to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so and how long would you leave a quick toner on for? And do you apply it wet or dry?
Well, interesting fact I found when we were over in Holland last. So quick tones are formulated to drop to a level 8, and that's it. So when people think that quick tones just leave it on and they'll go darker and darker and darker, yes, porosity is a conversation to have, but they're formulated to drop down to a level 8, which I think is great. I think like level 8 is still a blonde, still quite a light blonde.
Yeah.
So I left the quick tone on for, I think it was like 4 weeks on a mannequin.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember you did it just to see what it would do, right?
Yeah, rinsed it, and it was just a beautiful blonde.
Oh, I know. I'm getting confused with the Lumi 10. You did Lumi 10 and Lumi 10, right?
Yeah, left Lumi 10 on for I think it was like 4 months.
Yeah.
Obviously, it stopped and it slowed down and everything like that, but it didn't go black.
No,
it dropped to, I suppose, a level 6, and I wanted a level 7.
Yeah, so it was just one shade darker, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember you doing that. Then the demi liquids then.
Yep.
They are more kind of applied through. Go back to quick tones. Applied wet or dry?
Both.
Okay. Both. And same as demi?
I would say quick toners though. If you're doing just a panel, or you're doing a root, sort of like wanting to drop the root as a bit of a root shadow, you could do it dry. But I would say predominantly just put them on wet or towel dry, because you've just got a bit more time to
So because it's because it's formulated to go down to a base 8, you'd use that for like a root shadow then, would you? And then you'd use a different tone on the ends?
No, so one of the biggest things that I do with the quick tones is I put a quick tone all over, and then every 5 minutes I'll rinse. Say 5 minutes has passed, I'll take off the ends, and then another 5 minutes gone, I'll take off the mids. Another
Yeah,
5 minutes is gone, I'll take off like the root. So
right. Okay.
you've got like a natural transition of color
Yeah.
through.
So it's the same toner being left at different times to give you different results.
Yeah. So after 15
That's
minutes,
really good. I love that idea.
yeah, after 15 minutes, you could probably say it's going to drop down to what, an 8.5, 8 maybe, depending on porosity,
Yeah,
but maybe a 9. It would just sit that little bit sort of shadow on the root, and you've
yeah,
got those ends which are toned to where you want to be.
nice. Like that.
Hmm.
Okay. And what about the quick tone, the demi liquids? You put those on dry or wet or both?
Again, you can do both. If you're used to Lumishine liquids, as in the 10V, 10SB, 9V, and all
Yeah,
that, they've got the Blonde Life have got a lot more pigment to them, so
right.
they've got a lot more counteracts ability, like a lot more neutralizing properties that you can do. So, St. Mark, is the chat working?
Yes.
The
I
chat
hope
is
so.
working.
That is working. Yeah, we got, but everybody seems quiet tonight.
Yeah, we've got some can't post comments to some destinations, so there's something tonight with the comments, but it's
I said
no
that.
problem.
I said that on your live, didn't I?
Yeah,
Tonight. I don't know that, but that was we sussed that out why that was, but I don't know why this one is. But the
yeah,
chat is working.
but
So okay. So then we've got the 3 lighteners.
yeah,
We've got the cream, the clay, and the
powder.
powder. What did you use? Oh, you used the clay tonight, didn't you? On
I used
your
it on my mannequin. Yeah, I used the clay.
mannequin, yeah. And so we've had a clay before. How does this differ?
I suppose it's got a bit more power to it. I think
Yes, it lifts. How far does it lift? Lift to level what?
I think it's 7 levels of lift. It is just there. Yeah, 7. Well, 7 plus levels of lift
7 plus the okay, okay.
with a clay lightener. Yeah, I used 5 volt tonight. I only wanted to
Really?
lift. Yeah, I used 5 volt. I wanted just to lift it small amounts. I was working on level 9, but I wanted to
Right,
lift
okay,
small amounts.
okay.
We've used it with 40 volt,
So that
and
mannequin head you did tonight on the live, sorry, it's not there for people to see. I know it's in the background, I can see it. But did you pre-lighten all of that mannequin before you used so that's the color the mannequin came in then, like a base, an 8 or 9, was it?
comes in at a level 9, really, really
Yeah.
hot yellow. Yeah,
Yeah, it is a really yellowy color, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
And the color afterwards looked fantastic, to be fair. Um,
Mm.
but so you only used like you put the 8 foils in, right, on that?
8 foils with 8N and 9SB.
Okay, and then you like thick to thin. I remember that. And then
Yeah,
and then
thick to fat.
thick to
No,
fat,
thin to fat. Yeah,
thin to fat. And then your hand. I think it was about 6 or 8 sections in between. You did the balayage type of freehand.
yeah. It's 8 sections. It's
8
basically a hot
sections.
cross bun section quadrant, and then you put your 8 foils in to make 8 more sections,
Yeah,
and then you work through them like freehand.
yeah,
And that was
yeah. That was
freehand
really,
5 volt on a level 9. Didn't want to like damage the hair.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and then rinsed
Then
out and
rinsed
toned.
off. And what do you tone with?
10SB, 10V, left on for 20
Yeah,
minutes.
they looked sensational, to be honest. And the depth you got from the 8 foils, the darker foils, were fantastic. It really, really does. If anybody hasn't seen it, get onto that. I think it's on the Joico
Facebook,
Facebook.
but it's
Yeah,
on my YouTube channel as well.
the Joico US and your YouTube Paul
Yeah,
Watts YouTube channel. That is really like cool to
quick,
see.
quick.
Super quick. I mean, you were done in 30 minutes, all done in 30 minutes, which is
Yeah, and
blinding.
I did the intro. I showed the section on the wall,
Yeah,
and then I put the foils in, balayaged, and it was done. Probably 20 minutes, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. It was pretty cool, and you weren't rushing. It was all done, in just normal time, a normal salon time, I suppose.
Yeah,
What's the most requested blonde in the UK? Oh, we use all the teas
yeah,
as a toner. So I mean, I think lifting. Well, with my team, we lift as high as we can, and or to what's really healthy, and then we use a lot of teas. Like they mix the 3 teas together,
yeah.
depending on what we want. one could be slightly more, but usually on equal amounts, and then put them on, and that is always a fantastic toner.
Vero color. If no one has ever used Vero color, I suppose it's hard now because you can't get it everywhere. But
No.
Joico Vero color is a color range for colorists who want to create bespoke color. It's just unbelievable.
And not keep browning out.
Not keep browning out, yeah.
Like, that was a revelation to me when I heard that. And like, and it so rang a bell. I was like, yeah, totally get that. And I've become like a Vero addict now.
Yeah.
Like, and you know me, I'm not like but it's made me really, really think about my colors a lot more. About what the remaining pigment, and how warm, how cool, what I want to do, how to use the color wheel, all those things I have to revisit.
Yeah.
And I just love it. I really think it's like, for me to say that, how because the condition and the finish you can get with it is just like sensational. But you got to know it. You got to really fundamentally study it.
You have, and I've spoken to Danielle about this and a few of them. I think the story has to change.
Yeah,
I think the fundamental is something that we really need to understand when covering grey hair. But I think it's sold to people that they need to mix all 3 or 4 colors, whatever it is, to get where they want. Whereas a flat 7N in Vero is completely different to a 7N in any other color. It's a true blue that if you want those really, really, I say flat, you've still got unbelievable shine condition. But if you want that really flat brown,
instead of flat, I think what you're looking for is something that's true to color without the heat in the color, without it popping out hot or becoming glary, isn't it?
Yeah, there's none of that. It's a beautiful level, say level 7, that has no warmth in it whatsoever.
Yeah,
and to achieve that, you just can't with any other color brand.
They always come out slightly warm, don't they? Especially at the root. They always get a bit hot. No matter how you dumb down the peroxide, no matter what you do, they always come out slightly warmer.
Yeah.
And this stays bang on.
Yeah.
Like, it's true to color, isn't it? That's how it is.
Yeah, as long as you understand. And the story that we're talking about is when you want to cover grey. This was one of your big learns, wasn't it? It was like whatever is in the hair, you put in the bowl.
In the bowl, yeah.
Yeah. And
if it's not in the hair, put it in the bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the story about the grey coverage. So with grey hair, there's 0 melanin in the hair. It's a white canvas. So if we want to get a real true brown on there, we can formulate. If we want a cool brown, we put a bit more beige and natural in there, but we've still got to have some gold in there because this is all of the colors that are making up the color. And that's the story for me. When I've been introduced to it a few times, people have always told me, "Oh yeah, but you got to mix that and that." It's like, well, no, not all the time. Not unless you're working with grey. It's like, yeah, but it's always warm. It's like, well, what's your mix? It's like equal N, B, and G. It's like, well, just don't put G, like a lot of G in there. Yeah. Pull back on the G, and then go in with the N and the B and a little bit of G, and then it's like, oh, okay. And then they do it. You hear it, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, it's cool, Paul. So the clay used tonight. What's the difference between the clay, the cream, and the powder? When would you use them?
So clay, ideally for balayage, freehand
painting,
freehand open air. It's got people are used to clays, but yeah, it's got that sort of hard clay coat into it, so it won't transfer onto something else once it's hardened. You can use it with 40 volt again. You can use it with 20 volt, 5 volt. I've used tonight. Powder is your powder. It's your up to 9+ levels of lift. You can use 5 volt with that, 10, 20, 30, 40. I probably wouldn't use 40 because it is. I probably wouldn't use 30 if I'm honest. It is so powerful. It's just.
You'd rather go low and slow, right?
Low and slow.
Like you cook your beef brisket in a barbecue, low and slow, so it all falls apart.
Yep, that is how I'd go with my blonde life. And then the cream is ideally for sort of scalp applications. It's an oil based. Okay. It's probably the last one I would reach for, to be honest.
So you would reserve that mainly for scalp applications then?
Yeah, you can foil with it as well. You can balayage with it as well. Like you can do everything with it.
But the question is, why would you?
Why would you when you've got a really good clay and a really good powder? Why would you? Yeah. I suppose condition. That's why you would.
Okay.
If you were looking
at really compromised hair that you had to do something with, or you were you were in two minds about doing.
Yeah.
You would take a risk with the cream rather than the powder or the clay. Yeah.
Yeah, 4-step hair repair system, and then
Yeah.
I'd go in with the clay lightener.
Awesome.
Sorry, cream lightener.
Cream right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's answered all my questions. I've got no more questions on that.